For those that can make it. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please proceed. Okay, Ms. Scott, or
No,
are we,
Mr. Chair,
yes,
can I take a second to
please,
introduce?
go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to introduce Mo Nyamwea. She is our new CVTA executive assistant and will be taking over, among many other things, the clerking duties for our committee meetings as well as our authority. So she's taking this week to onboard a little bit with support from Janice, Ms. Scott. And I just wanted to take a second to introduce her. Mo, I don't know if you want to say anything, but just please take some time after the meeting if you have time to extend welcome to Mo and her work on the team.
Thanks, Chet. So nice to meet you all. I'm looking forward to working with all of you, and thanks for the warm welcome.
Well, thank you. And we'll put you right to work. Would you mind certifying the form?
Sure.
Thank you.
Do I do the roll first and then?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Chesterfield County, Mr. Carroll.
I'm here.
Henrico County, Mr. Nelson. Goochland County Chair Spoonhour.
Here.
New Kent County Vice Chair Moyer.
Here.
City of Richmond Mayor Avula.
Here.
And we do have a quorum.
Thank you so much. Mr. Parsons, do we have a need to confirm any member participation from remote location?
No member participation. We do have Ms. Shepherd, who is on staff, who will be presenting later on as part of the agenda.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you. Folks, is there any considerations for amendments to the meeting agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 3 with the election of CVTA Finance Committee officers. At this, I will turn it over to our director, Mr. Parsons, to run the elections.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As everyone knows, the Central Virginia Transportation Authority has adopted a number of non-binding guidance documents. As of June, I believe, or maybe it was July of 2023, part of the non-binding guidance documents was an update to membership on the Finance Committee that 2 members appointed to the Finance Committee by the authority should serve terms of 2 years, commencing on July 1st of each fiscal year and ending on July 30th of the second year following the date of appointment. So with that understanding, our 2 appointed members, Mr. Spoonhour and Mr. Moyer, are beginning their second year as appointed members. So that is why the authority did not take any action this year to appoint new members. So with that, our membership of the Finance Committee is full at 5 members. And at this point, we just need to go through elections for chair and vice chair, and that is done by the committees, not by the full authority. So with that background, I'd like to open the floor for nominations for chair.
Sir, I'd like to nominate the Honorable John Moyer for chairman.
So we have a nomination for Mr. Moyer.
Second.
Have a second? Any other nominations? Close the nominations. That being understood, Mr. Moyer as the sole nominee for chair, I'd like to entertain a motion to elect Mr. Moyer as chair of the CVTA Finance Committee.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is that recorded?
Yes.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Mr. Moyer is chair. Mr. Moyer, if it's okay, I'll continue this. Okay, so we would now entertain nominations for vice chair.
The motion that we nominate Mayor Daniel Booth.
Second.
Understood. Thank you, Mr. Nelson. We have a second. Any other nominations? All right, none being heard, we'll take a motion for election of Mayor Avula as vice chair.
I think you have a motion on the floor already.
You close.
We just need to close it and then we can vote.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I will close the nominations. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Speak down.
Congratulations, Mayor Avula.
Here we go, bud.
That's it.
No speeches, was.
No.
Hard fought races. You did well.
Thank you, Jenna.
Sir.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the opportunity to serve this committee, serve the big authority in this role. It's the dollar amounts and the projects that we're involved in show the importance of what the CVTA has been from the beginning, and to be part of it in any form is definitely an honor. So thank you. The next item is the approval of minutes of May 14th, 2025 meeting. Any additions, corrections?
Motion to approve the minutes, Mr. Chair.
Second. I'll get a second. Any other questions? Do we need a voice vote from this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Thank you. Next is the open public comment period, the ability for anybody in the public, either here or online, to be able to voice their opinion, their comments, their solutions to a problem. Is anybody here? I see no one. We'll go to the next. That's the which would be my report. So we're gonna leave that for next month, if that's okay with everybody. Unless you have something, Mr. Schwinhauser.
No, just want to thank everybody for the opportunity to serve in this capacity and represent the great people of Goochland County.
The CVTA activities report. Mr. Parsons.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Shepherd, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
That would be a yes.
We're waiting, we're trying to get your voice on the screen.
We can't hear you.
We cannot hear you.
Speakers are muted, Sid. No, they're all good. In the bottom right corner, do you see that?
How about
Bear
now?
with us 1 second.
How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? How about now? Bear with me.
This didn't happen when I ran the meetings.
Oh,
Going off the rails real quick around here.
Can you hear me now?
oh, boy. Thanks, Neil. I was gonna call you Mr. Spoonhour, but I'm just gonna say Neil, okay? We have Sid involved, so.
Now?
Fix it. I guess
Can
we
you hear
could
me?
actually get the TAC activities report.
No.
Everything's.
Can you hear me now?
It's fine.
It's still
That
muted.
Next by the speakers, like, can you click on that?
Can you hear me now?
I think I'm just gonna
Bottom right corner.
turn on the speakers.
There you go.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
Hit that.
There you go. All right, Lauren.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
No,
Oh,
it's still muted again.
you said not connected, that's only top.
Can you hear me now?
When you're talking, green line goes around, so the sound's getting picked up. in the-
Are you able to
Yeah, I
hear
agree
me?
with you. While they're doing that, we can do the
Yes,
TAC activities report.
If we could have the tax activities report, please?
Can't talk.
Sure. So good morning. My name is Joe Vidunas. I'm probably a new face to most of you all, but I've been around for quite some time. Probably back to 2022 is when I first started participating with the TPO and now, of course, with the CVTA. I represent Hanover County. on the TAC and was newly appointed as the TAC chair. So this is my first update before this committee. So bear with me as I get my footing, but I'm going to give you an update. We met, TAC met this past Monday. We had a relatively short meeting, lasted about 45 minutes and covered most of the topics, or many of the topics that you all will be considering this afternoon. Probably of most significance is TAC reviewed and unanimously recommended for approval 5 spas for some very significant projects that will be getting started. So that's an action item on your agenda following this item. And then secondly, and I believe it was Chet, the Finance Committee that directed TAC to propose bonding projects. Was that
Correct.
Through the Finance Committee? Yes. Okay. So TAC followed through on that. The deadline was August 1 for localities to submit one bonding proposal. We received 5 submittals totaling roughly $505 million. Hanover was pleased to submit 1 project in that collective, and that's an information item later on in your agenda as well. Other than that, we'd also discussed the quarterly and reporting requirements, and that's an information item that you all will be discussing as well. I think that pretty much covers it, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you very much for the report. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate your service.
And I apologize, I'm gonna have to cut out earlier. I had some other obligations, but thank you.
You did what you have to. That's good. How we doing, Sid?
Lauren is going to step away, log out, and then come back into
Okay,
the screen.
okay, very good.
Because we're okay on this end, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay.
I think they could hear her. I got a message that they could hear her online.
Oh,
But they
really?
just can't hear her.
Oh, here. Okay. Sid will be figuring that out.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
if you prefer for expedience, I can do the report.
Okay, thank you.
And we can just understand that
Okay,
Ms. Shepherd is going to be the primary deliverer of the report
normally, okay,
in the future.
thank you.
Can we put the slides up, please?
Okay.
Okay, so one of the things that this body has really spearheaded over the last year was more information availability for finance committee members as well as members of the public regarding our financial situation, whether that's investments or tax revenues or other information that is being considered by the authority. So what I've worked with Ms. Shepherd on over the last few months is a more robust reporting tool primarily for the finance committee, but also for the authority. And what we're going
Mr.
to
Parsons.
do is on a quarterly basis, as books close, we will be providing a report like you're getting today. And then in the interim months between the quarters, we'll at least be continuing with the updates that you have grown accustomed to with the green revenue reports as well as the investment reports from Chesterfield County. So
Mr.
what I'm going to go
Parsons,
through
can you hear
today
me?
is kind of the more robust quarterly report, just so you can get a feel for what we know and what we can share. So today we'll have 3 items regarding taxes, operating expenses, and an update on the financial management system. And then I'll close with an overview of the investment report. Next slide. So as you know, this is what we see every month in terms of tax collections and distributions for fiscal year 2025. We are on a lag in reporting, so we do not have the full 12-month FY25 report yet. That will be September, October-ish, depending on our meeting date and the reporting from the state and our fiscal agent. We are continuing to see revenues as we have come to expect over the last 5 years. Year to date, we're on track
Mr.
in
Parsons?
terms of the revenue projections. And
Mr.
we
Parsons?
continue to have, as we discussed last month, a fully satisfied working capital reserve. So
Mr. Parsons, can you hear
there's
me?
Additional investment interest in earnings are now available for consideration for other needs. My suggestion is to watch that over the next 6 months or so and see what the levels grow to before we take any action or consideration on considering additional projects or other needs that the investment earnings might satisfy. Next slide. So this is something that Lauren created and shared last time. This is a Sankey chart, and it's really a visualization for income versus outgoing. You can see to the left, the brown shaded area is a representation of our sales and use tax and our local fuels tax. So all the tax revenues that we received through March of 25. So that's 142 in sales and use and 47 in local fuels tax. So our total revenue is 189 million. And then our distributions are the same amount. The top green on the right is our 50% distribution back to localities, totaling 94 million. Our regional fund, so that's 35%, is 66 million. And then the 15% to GRTC was 28 million year to date. That won't be the total number for FY25, but that's where we are right now. And then our operating fund, which is on the next page, is 0.7 million. So I believe that the total is about 0.5% of our total budget is going to the operating fund. So that's something to be proud of. Next slide. So if you break down that 0.7% from the previous slide, this is our operating expenses year to date. So $613,000.
Mr. Parsons, can you hear me now?
$248 in expenses.
Mr. Parsons?
Most of that, 2/3 of that, has gone to personnel for administration and staffing. And then professional services is a big chunk of it as well. And that's things like audit, legal counsel, our financial advisors, paying insurance, contracted services. And we have moved contracted services to also include contracts with Plan RVA. So when staff is needed to facilitate CVTA activities, that is now under contracted services rather than staffing and administration. So it's the same type of transaction. Then technology and communications and administrative expenses with meetings, memberships, professional development, public engagement are all under that last category. Next slide. So our operating expenses, actuals to budgeted, there is a variance of a little bit depending on the category between personnel, professional services, technology, and administration. But at the same time, we are as usual this time of year, we are under budget because of unexpected delays in funding needs and other types of things. But we are confident and satisfied with the budget that was set. And we believe that now that we have additional staff in-house, that we are on track to continue that budgeted need for FY26 as approved. Next slide. So that was the first three items. The last one here is the monthly investment report. And this is for June of 2025. I wanted to bring three items of note, and that's the bullets on the right-hand side. Interest earnings for fiscal year 25 exceeded prior years as the short-term yields have remained higher than anticipated, and investment balances have increased. So that's continued growth, and you see that in the chart at the bottom of the left-hand page. Currently, the Fed does expect to have 2 more rate cuts by the end of this year. So I'm working with our fiscal agent Chesterfield to understand when that might happen, as well as the impacts to our current investment portfolio. But I think the bottom note is the most important is that we've continued to outperform all of the yield benchmarks, as we do every month, so far. And 2 of the year-over-year benchmarks, for the month of June. So the investments are continuing to show great dividends, even with the variability in the market. And, we're tracking this closely as we go month to month, and expect to bring back similar reports next month. Mr. Chair, I believe that's it.
Chair,
Mr. Shepherd,
Mr. Carl?
you want to get a question first?
I was gonna say, Ms. Shepherd is chatting something for.
There is one note. Can you put that chat on the screen, please? Sid? The chat from Lauren. Okay, regarding the financial management system, we executed a contract late last week with Jameis Corporation. They were the clear front runner in terms of being able to handle our needs in a comprehensive, integrated tool. We're currently scheduling a kickoff meeting, and we'll keep the committee updated. So that is a comprehensive financial management tool. If you're involved with the Plan RVA board, that's been the driving force behind kind of getting that tool in place, and that will impact top to bottom all staffing activities, contract related expenses and everything else. So CVTA will definitely hopefully feel the efficiency and benefits of having that new system in place.
Going back to page 10, Chet, under lifetime to date LTD in the far right corner.
Yes, sir.
Looking at regional funds, the balance that it shows there as far as what was actually been collected lifetime to date is that right, 336,988,000.
Yes, that is, I believe, through the end of June.
Okay, to the end of June, that we actually have collected money for. That's how much has gone into the regional pot. Right. The reason why I'm saying this, because if you look at our investment portfolio, you look at the funds that are in the investment portfolio right now, there's 355 million in the investment portfolio.
Yeah.
So the point for anybody who might be watching at home, might be one person, is that the investment portfolio has been managed so well that you can see the difference between how much was actually collected, how much is actually sitting in our investment portfolio, and we've paid money out for projects.
Absolutely.
From this regional pot, and we still have 20+ million more in it, despite paying money out. And again, my point about that is we're doing very well on our investment portfolio.
Mr. Parsons, what county is that
I don't know.
Well, tell your people, thank you very much. And I saw that 355. I remember back in the day when the investment portfolio was the same amount of money as I earned. I felt really good about that because 1 for 1 is always good. So if you have invested the same amount of money you're bringing in, that's a tremendous thing. Good kudos to us, to the people spending their money on sales tax and gas, but also to the financial people. And also to go back with good stewardship, us paying out 0.7% for the operation of CVTA. I'd like to get that financial advisor at 0.7%, for anything that our county could do. So I appreciate Mr. Parsons and his people.
Well, Mr. Chair, I didn't really mean to make that point of self-gratification for Chesterfield. That's not what it was about.
Sure.
I know.
For the community to understand that we're being very good stewards of all of the almost $1 billion that's, and it probably will go over $1 billion after this next report based on what I've seen in the last 3 months reporting, which was close to 30 million, like 28 million. But we've done some tremendous things in this organization, and it's just really about a lot of people unfortunately pay attention until a project starts to come out of the ground. It's going to affect them. I really wish that more people would, because if it wasn't for the CVTA being created, there are so many regional projects that are going on right now that wouldn't be done. Fall Line Trail, New Kent, 64 widening, so many in the city, so many in Henrico, so many in Goochland, so many everywhere. It's just amazing. And I know people don't like their taxes going up. I don't like their taxes going up. But at least we know we're actually spending it wisely. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Carroll. This is probably, I'm sorry for this being late, but I don't know if this committee has met before since the passing of John Hodges. One of the things my minister talked about 2 weeks ago, he gave a sermon on basically being a servant, a steward, and demanding and getting trustworthiness. And I think that's a great thing that we looked at with John Hodges as being all three of those. And hopefully his family's doing well. But we'll miss him. We talked about it last week at our TPO, but I wanted to make sure I mentioned that today. So not as a downer, but a celebration for him. So any other questions on the financial reports? Okay, next is other business, and that would be the VDOT spas. Mr. Parsons.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Page 15 is the beginning of this with the staff report. As we have done on multiple occasions, before any reimbursements of regional allocations can take place, we need an executed standard project agreement between CVTA and the locality, or CVTA and VDOT, depending on who administers the projects. So VDOT has requested today consideration of a slate of 5 standard project agreements to begin the approval process. The requested action today is that the Finance Committee recommend full authority approval of the spas as presented. I will highlight quickly the 5 different spas so we understand the projects that are at play. The first one is project number 34, and that is the I-95 Route 10 interchange in Chesterfield. The next one is project number 49, the Route 288 southbound auxiliary lane in Goochland. Next is project 51, the Route 250, 288 interchange in Goochland. The next is project number 54, the I-64 exit 211 interchange in New Kent County. And then finally, project 60, the US 60, Virginia 13 intersection improvements in Powhatan County. And Mr. Chair, these are all, I believe, recipients of Smart Scale Round 6 funds. So that is kind of the impetus for bringing those projects for consideration today. And we would like to, obviously, if the committee is interested, we would like to get this on the agenda for the August 22nd full authority meeting for signature.
Thank you, Mr. Parsons. Any questions or discussions? I'll just bring up that the new kit one for I-64 does not have a finalization date on it, but we expect to have that date before the 22nd, before the full board would meet and approve of it. So we're keeping that in the 5 that we'd like to approve today. If there's no other questions or comments, have a motion.
Moved. Second.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Any other questions? I'd like to take this time to vote on that. And the voice vote is all that's needed. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes. Thank you very much, Parsons. And we'll go to the next item, the access procedures for working capital reserve.
Thank you very much. This is actually a Finance Committee originated discussion. So I wanted to bring this back and hopefully close the loop on this, but or at least facilitate continued discussion. Page 56, there was a question. I believe the last time the question was raised was at the authority meeting on June 6th of what is the access procedure to the working capital reserve. If you recall in the financial report, I reiterated that the working capital reserve is at its capacity right now at 18 million. So the question was, what's the access procedure? How do localities access that working capital reserve, and what are the triggers for it? So this was something that we had discussed previously. There has been a reference of this discussion to the TAC. The TAC asked for, did not have much comment on it, if any, and asked for opinions from the Finance Directors Working Group. So we've taken this question through all the committees that we have. And I wanted to come back with some of the guidelines that were originally discussed at this committee. The working capital reserve is set aside to provide stability and flexibility in the event of unexpected events that impact cash flow across the entire authority. So some examples of proper use of the working capital reserve are an instance where a recession across the country causes a drop in tax revenue below projections, so that we essentially cannot pay our bills. We have commitments to reimburse projects. We have commitments to use our funds in other ways. So that would be a proper use of the working capital reserve. Projects being completed far in advance of expected timelines. So, costs are exceeded past the allocation year that has been decided, or possible General Assembly withdrawal of funds while certain projects are active. So things that are essentially almost beyond control of the authority that would necessitate the need for additional cash. Those are proper uses of the working capital reserve. Improper uses of the working capital reserve could include project overruns. That's something where we have efficiency already in place with balance entry every year. Part of the regional revenues every year go to a balance entry pool, which can be used for project overruns. So the working capital reserve is separate from that and should be kept safe. And then we also would not use the working capital reserve for any form of debt service. That would be, again, a separate category of funds that is established to pay debt service on a bond issuance, which would be part of the bond issuance, would be the creation of that debt reserve. So again, working capital reserve is a totally separate thing that is really it's like a rainy day fund that many localities would have. So there is no requested action today. This is more an update that I wanted to come back and let you know that we have had this discussion outside of the Finance Committee and have shared it around and have not received any constructive criticism or comments or additions to the procedure that we've written up. So, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to share that with you today and see if there's any questions or any additional action that the committee would like for staff to take.
I think that one thing on that, what it cannot be used, you said about debt service. I would think that would be similar, debt service would be similar as a bill that would be coming due in a case of recession, that we can't make that loan payment. That could come out of that working capital reserve, just like any other bill we would be paying.
I would think if a bond is issued to the authority, then that debt service is
Already taken care of,
right?
just, okay.
Yeah, if I may,
Sure.
Chair, the individual bonds, a package of bonds that would be issued would be provided for in the budget of the authority for the payment of that debt service on an annual basis. As a requirement of any bond issuance, like New Kent County, like any locality, you have to have a set aside reserve to cover any potential fluctuations or a reserve fund to pay for something if for some reason you can't meet that debt obligation for any reason. That reserve is set aside to make those payments.
Okay.
So that as Chet mentioned, the bonding bond financing would have its own separate capital.
So it has its own fail-safe type thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Any other questions about this? Yes.
That set of recommendations has already gone through the Finance Directors Working Group or was sourced by them? Or was that more internal?
The proper use of,
Yeah.
yes, it's been vetted by the
from
Finance
it.
Directors.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
great.
Then yes.
I just wanted to make, just kind of to bring it back around. This feels more sort of like this covers more of our operating expenses. That'd be accurate.
And projects.
So that's where I get confused with the project overruns, because what we're saying is we're taking 3 months of the CVTA funds, which is a significant amount, it's $18 million. A lot of projects could be funded for $18 million. We're saying we want to hold that in reserves. But if it's going more towards more operational things, like we can't pay our bills because of a recession, but not necessarily project overruns and things like that. Are we comfortable? The question would be, are we comfortable with 18 million being held in reserves as opposed to 3 months of operating capital to bail us out in case of a recession or something? Follow what I'm saying?
Well, I think if like a recession would come, and we have projects that are outstanding that need to be paid, we could take the money from the working capital reserve. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. The way I've been thinking about this is if a recession would happen, is if that was the cause.
Right.
There would be, say, 40 projects that we may not be able to reimburse. That would be the cause for pulling from the working capital reserve, not a single project that
Right. Yes.
fell behind
No, no.
because the contractor did something incorrect.
Right.
So more widespread, agency-wide.
So more than
reimbursement.
just operating expenses.
Perfect. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
No, good, I'm glad, glad. Okay, any other questions? Okay, then, yes,
The clarity on that, thank you, Mr. Blumenthal, for bringing that up, is we have projects that are actually being worked on. Right, not ones that are proposed and haven't, and we've set aside funding for. Projects are actually being worked on, because the other option would be, of course, if necessary, is to say, these out projects that have not started yet, we're gonna have to push off funding for those in order to make these work. The ones that we already have approved, the ones that are already, we have SPA agreements on, the ones that are already being in construction, but we need to complete. And that's that's one option, is to use that, and the other option would be to say, like we would do in any of our budgets, to say, we gotta cut because we can't fund these out projects right now because of this. So there's options on the table for the CVTA with both of those. We hope we don't have to do that.
well, it's good to talk about good scenarios and
Yep.
bad scenarios,
Yep.
so we appreciate that. Mr. Parsons, number 3. The bond project pool?
Yes, sir. So, Mr. Vadunas in the TAC report mentioned this. So we had a direction for the TAC to provide potential bond projects to be considered by August 1st. The purpose of that was to kind of provide the next milestone in terms of our bond discussion that has been taking place over the last few years. We have been able to talk in generalities at the authority level about the issuance of bonds and credit ratings and all of the different things that would need to take place, bond validation, et cetera. But until August 1st, we had no idea what kind of package we were talking about. Was it going to be a $15 million bond? Was it going to be a $500 million bond? What was the need of the region? So to me, what this does is kind of gives us our first flag in the ground in terms of understanding as a collective, what's the region talking about in terms of regional needs. It does not, provide a final anything. This is really the beginning of the discussion about what a potential bond package might include. So what we asked for localities to provide was one project per locality with a general cost understanding as well as a timeline. Mr. Gregory and I, in our conversations with bond counsel and with our financial advisors, is we know that there are going to be certain details of a project that will reflect well when a bond is taken to market. So this is the first salvo to understand what those details might be. Project readiness, overall costs, all the different things that would show the attractiveness of a particular set of projects for the market. So the next steps in this, and this is something that this body, as well as the authority and the TAC, there was a memo approved in April by the full authority that kind of outlined required tasks for each of the committees. So the TAC has provided their initial list. The next steps would be to take this list and talk about it from a financial standpoint with the finance directors working group to really start to understand, is this reasonable? Does it need to be massaged or improved in some way? Is this something that can move forward? All those different details to then provide back to the finance committee a more concise report, maybe not even a recommendation at that point, but to just understand where we are in the process and what's workable and what's not. And then after all that takes place, we'll move towards putting something together for the full authority to consider, if that is the direction that finance committee really decides that we should go. So with that information item, this is something that can evolve over time. Obviously, we want it to be refined. And I'll continue to work with all of our committees and come back to this committee as well with updates as we move through this process. Be happy to take any questions.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Parsons. Number 4 is yours, Mr. Park, quarterly financial report.
Thank you. Our quarterly financial report is really something that kind of accompanies the more detailed quarterly report that Ms. Shepherd prepared. This is something that, in going back through our roles and responsibilities review over the past year, this is something that CVTA should be submitting to the city of Richmond, to our fiscal agent at the city, to provide an understanding of current activities involved with many different things, reconciliations, summary of invoices paid, et cetera, as you can see in the list. The reporting period that is currently contained in the roles and responsibilities is monthly. In discussing that with Ms. Shepherd, who would be probably the primary lead on preparing this information, we think that it would be better served to do that on a quarterly basis, just because of month-end closures and overlap with meeting dates. So my recommendation is that we could start doing this electronically with our fiscal agent, and also make that available to finance committee members if you all would like to see the full package. But to do that on a quarterly basis. I don't think we need action on this, but as long as there's an understanding of the finance committee that that's how we're going to move forward with the process, I'm confident that we can get that done.
Any questions, problems, solutions? Well, thank you. Then we'll go to the regional
Okay.
quarterly project.
Yes, so these next two items are related to our updates regarding the regional fund, the 35% regional allocations, as well as our local quarterly reporting. So the first one on page 60 is the regional project quarterly report. The table that you see on page 61 is kind of a summary of where we are in relation to reimbursements. The lens that this table should be looked at is we can glean from this information which projects are active, which projects that are receiving regional funds are active, and which ones have fully executed SPAs and are currently seeking reimbursements for project expenses. So that is the highlighted column on the right side, reimbursed, and this is as of July 10th. These are all projects that have received allocations for regional funds. And you can see down the right-hand side which ones have received reimbursements as a result of those commitments. What this does, it doesn't provide all the detail that might be necessary, but it can give you, as a committee, a tool to ask questions. If you wanted to get more information on a particular project performance, et cetera, we have the information and can provide it. One of the the recommendations that I received from the chair in the preparation for this meeting is that we have an allocation plan date right next to the locality. What that is when the official action was taking place on the regional allocations. So if you recall, every time there is a round of regional funding that's approved, usually the month after that, the authority takes action to approve the allocations plan, which is basically the official list of all the projects that are receiving regional funds in that round. What this table does not show is when those funds are actually programmed. So part of the allocation plan is essentially our 6-year, 7-year period that shows, you know, Project X is going to start receiving funds for PE in FY 27. And it'll complete construction in FY 31.
Right.
So even if for that, to bring that back to this table, if you see a blank in the reimbursed column, that may be because the project is not supposed to receive funds until this year or a future year. So there may be a reasonable explanation for that and not just a delay in the project. So again, this is information for you to be able to look at your locality and others, and start to develop an understanding of where projects are at any one given time, and to ask questions of staff. Part of, and I think one last item here, in terms of the regional reporting, we now have a tool in place through our website where localities can provide updates on regional projects that provide updated schedules, as well as additional project summary to provide, and that can be done on a quarterly basis by the localities so that the finance committee, and especially the finance committee chair, can understand current project status before signing off on reimbursement requests.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
This is great, but maybe we can add one line item in here that talks about what year they're eligible for their funding. So if someone from the community looks at it, because it's gonna be posted online. Someone from the community, we're gonna understand what you just said, but some community like, well, how come there's no activity here?
Correct.
And we understand that it's an out project that is projected maybe in 27, 28, whatever. So maybe just a column that says, you know, and I don't know what you want to call it, but funding source year, for example, something to that effect on there, just so when someone looks at it, they go, okay, well, this one actually starts then. It also gives an idea for the public to say, you know, because I'm sure you all get the same questions I get. People call and go, when are they going to start doing that? How come they haven't done it yet? And it doesn't matter what it is, it's a variety of things. At least someone can look at it and go, okay, that's supposed to start in that year.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just for information for the committee, we've already made that change since the agenda was posted. So we'll probably put this table as a separate item on the website so that people can hone in on this.
Yeah, because you know, you see all the blanks in those the last 3 columns, you go, whoa, what's going on? And to have that 4th column that says, well, it wasn't going to be paid till the 27th, till 2027, answers those questions then, I think. So okay, on to the regional local.
Yes, the local project quarterly report. So that's page 63 in the agenda. Again, this is a tool that we have put on the member portal on the website so that TAC members and finance folks from each jurisdiction can update by quarter the local CVTA spending on projects. As background, this table builds into the annual certification. So we have quarterly reporting. By the time we have a completed quarter four report, then you all can have that on your agenda. Hopefully by September 15th is the date to certify that these expenditures have gone towards transportation purposes as required by the statute. So this is a table that is built to be expanded. So you can see across from left to right, each fiscal year, we have full tracking from the creation of the authority on what local spending took place for each particular project. back to fiscal year 21 through now through the end of fiscal year 25. We are still working with localities at the end of the fourth quarter to get all of that financial information updated into the table. So this is not complete as of yet, but it's close. And then we'll continue to do this starting Q1 of FY 26. So this is just you can see the right-hand side, spending at the local level with CVTA local money for fiscal year 25 per project, as well as lifetime to date. So again, just good information to be able to share, to be able to have a reference. So now you can be able to see what the actual spending is, at least at the quarterly basis for regional CVTA dollars as well as local CVTA dollars.
I have a question in here, but I'm not quite sure how to word it. Do we have anybody in the CVTA that actually looks at this and goes, what are you guys doing with the project? You know, in not, I don't want to say policing, but actually looking at all these projects that the local is submitting. And we're going, okay, we've put this kind of money here. How's that being used? It doesn't seem like it's being used yet. Right? Do you have any mechanism for that? Or should we, or are we basically counting on, we're gonna do the right thing?
Well, Mr. Chair, we're set up to operate efficiently. Remember that 0.7% of the operating budget? So,
You wanna
at
go
the time-
1.7%?
at the time, there is no one at the CVTA that is double checking local expenditures, but the carrot and the stick there is local staff are updating the spending. And then we have a requirement where the local board has to sign off that the spending was above board. So there are some checks in place that were established by the General Assembly to provide those assurances, and we're putting our full faith in those.
I'm counting on my part. Very good. Any other questions about that? And thank you, that's unbelievable. Spreadsheet, I'm not a big spreadsheet guy, but these are the pretty good ones. Next on the docket is there anybody in the committee that has any comments? I look around.
Mr. Chair, I just want to thank you for mentioning John Hodges earlier. The opportunity to attend John's funeral over the weekend. Very well attended by the community. You could clearly see how much he was loved and admired by people from all over. As a matter of fact, they had to put extra seating outside for everybody that couldn't fit in the church. So, you know, he was an inaugural member of this CVTA, and even when he was ill, he was continuing to participate to the best of his ability. So I appreciate recognizing him.
Sure.
Earlier.
Anybody else have anything? Okay, next meeting is September 10th, 2025. And in this room, and I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.